Donald Trump is no stranger to conspiracy theories. He had theories about Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. He says that climate change is a conspiracy, it's a hoax, it's a money making industry. So are the vaccines for the COVID-19 problem. He's endorsed conspiracies about Muslims, Latin Americans, Jews. The vaccines cause autism, wind turbines cause cancer, and of course, the 2020 election was stolen from him. He is a major conspiracy theorist, a propagator of conspiracy theories, and so it shouldn't be that surprising that the master of fake news, the master of the unexplained conspiracy, should be the victim of one as well. And so when at 6:09 the other day on June the 13th, Donald Trump was addressing a crowd at the Butler Farm Showgrounds in Pennsylvania, and at 6:11 a rifleman, Thomas Matthew Crooks, was spotted on a nearby sloping roof, and he fires a shot that narrowly misses Trump because Trump turned his head suddenly at that last moment, and a Secret Serviceman reacts, kills Crooks by sniper fire, even after Crooks got off additional rounds, killing Corey Compratore and injuring other people in the crowd. At 6:12, Trump, shielded barely by the Secret Service, raises his hand in a fist, and the iconic photograph captured by an Associated Press photographer, Evan Vucci, goes round the world. No. I've had my fair share of emails and comments sent to me about this event, ranging from the purely factual that there was a security lapse and that Crooks, a 20-year-old nursing home employee who was depressed and who was able to position himself undetected in a perfect spot for an assassin, was not apprehended earlier and then was shot, making his side of the story impossible to ascertain. There are people who believe that Trump orchestrated the event itself to garner sympathy, energize his base, and that this was a staged production. And indeed, someone has sent me a very lengthy email pointing out that when Trump put his hand up to his ear and there was blood across his face, and he put his hand on the shoulder of one of the Secret Service people, there was no blood on his hand. If his ear had been so battered, there would have been blood everywhere. There wasn't. There was just a little bit of blood across his face, enough to make it look significant, and no blood on his hand. Why was there no blood on his hand? Well, people have been watching that video frame by frame, incrementally. The problem is the frames of film are not always that clear, and film lies. Film isn't a perfect witness to any event. Look at Jurassic Park. Look at Mary Poppins. These are not real moments. These are doctored moments. And since the 1960s, the technology for doctoring moments has got better and better and better. More than that, film is not a very good recording medium because it's a limited number of shots every second, and there's a period of time between the shots, and the shots are blurred, and in the panic, people don't really see what they see, and nor does the camera. The camera lies. The second claim is that this is government complicity, and that rather than being a deliberate lapse by the government, or rather than being a lapse by the government, this is a deliberate lapse by the government aimed at eliminating Trump, and it all went rather wrong. It was a deep-seated conspiracy to get him out. There is a third idea, in that this is a Russian-based conspiracy designed to push Trump's candidacy because Trump is likely to be the most volatile of possible candidates and is going to cause a distraction for Russia, for the Kremlin, for Putin in the fridge. There you are. You see, I'm contributing to the bevy of conspiracy theories around the world. But in my case, my argument about Putin's death is based on three bits of documentary evidence. They may be dismissed, and also personal experience. And I don't believe the Putin that is visible now is the Putin that was running around the place 6 or 7 years ago. I don't believe it's the same man. And indeed, there's plenty of documentary evidence to support that idea too. There is no documentary evidence to support the idea that Trump was the victim of an overarching conspiracy, just as there isn't any evidence to support the faked moon landings. A very good film, Take Me to the Moon, but there's no evidence. And there's no evidence to support the idea that the Kennedy assassination was the result of a larger conspiracy, or indeed that there's some sort of celestial trickery going on between the mirror image of John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald, and all the stuff about Kennedy's assassin ran from a warehouse to a theatre, whereas John Wilkes Booth ran from a theatre to a warehouse. You know, we will see connections in everything. We like to see tidy solutions, and that's really where the conspiracy theory obsession comes from. It's about trying to find a tidy solution. And life, unfortunately, is not tidy. Life is a mess. And I don't think a conspiracy theory is anything more than an entertaining piece of speculation. It is entertaining, it is great fun, but it's not real. And the situation with Donald Trump is reminiscent of the JFK assassination, where initial doubts and conspiracies arose almost immediately. And the rapid development of such theories reflects America's long-standing skepticism of official narratives and believing the authorities. The US has a robust history of conspiracy theories, deeply rooted in the 1963 JFK assassination, but also in the stuff of the aliens and the public's readiness to question official accounts, fueled by historical government cover-ups and political rhetoric. So, the official response is that the government and the Secret Service's handling of the incident involving Trump was a security breach and a mess, and it left room for conspiracy theories to flourish. The rapid dissemination of photos and videos by media outlets like the New York Times and the Associated Press have played a crucial role in shaping public perception, but the same media coverage has also allowed for various interpretations and conspiracy theories to spread equally as quickly. And Trump's immediate reaction and subsequent statements have been seen by some as an attempt to exploit the incident for political gain, consistent with the history of leveraging conspiratorial rhetoric. He was ready. And of course, the conspiracy theorists would like to see incremental gaffes in the narrative. The Butler Farm Showgrounds incident encapsulates the complex interplay between political events, public perception, historical context in America. While the actual sequence of events is clear, the myriad interpretations highlight a profound distrust in official narratives, and they are a fertile ground for conspiracy theories and a legacy going all the way back to JFK and to the alien abduction obsession in the 1950s and early 60s. Understanding this phenomenon requires a recognition of a timeline of anxiety within this broader socio-political environment that masquerades as public discourse. This is entertaining, speculative, and ultimately without any foundation, I'm afraid.